Today is the day, ladies and gents. We are finally going to turn on the car. I'm not sure where I last left this video off because I've been jumping around, switching cameras, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, I'll just catch you up what has been done and what still needs to be done. So as you can see from my last video, exhaust system is finally done, all in. We got intake manifold buttoned up. We got everything wired up pretty much except the alternator and the MAF, I believe. Yep, 2 alternator plugs, 1 MAF plug. Everything else is wired up. We got new spark plugs in, got the coil packs in, all that stuff is buttoned up. All we need is to bolt up the alternator. Like I said, bolt up the alternator, get the radiator in, and power steering stuff. And then we will be good to finally turn this thing on. A little scared, but you know, all moments come to this. I think I've done everything correctly. This is my first time working on an LS, so fingers crossed everything goes according to plan. So let's go ahead and get alternator stuff going, and then power steering pump, and then radiator. We'll go from there. Another tech tip, there's actually a plug in the side of the block right here. I believe it's like a T40 or something. It is a whatever the size is, I forgot. Anyways, but like I said, it's a plug on the side of the block right there. You can unplug it or disconnect it and actually feed a 3/8 hose to a funnel and actually put oil in here to prime your oil pump, so you know you avoid any dry startups or anything like that. So I'm not sure how much it takes, but I'm just gonna fill up as much as I can because you know we don't want a dry startup, so the more oil the better. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and then put on the bracketry because this plug is a lot easier to get to when you don't have anything in the way right here. So let's go prime this pump and then put on the alternator. Bada bing, bada boom. There you have it, boys. And the one lady who may watch this, I got everything plumbed up and situated. The alternator bracket is bolted up, alternator is bolted up. The power steering pump is routed and bolted up. The power steering reservoir is hooked up. The power steering cooler and all the lines are hooked up. That probably took the longest time. I recommend you guys, if you guys are doing this or going to take on, you know, this project, definitely take a picture of these lines and how they're routed, because this was so confusing and hard to get back to the original position because I took so long to finish this car and I forgot where everything went. So I had to do a lot of research, had to look up a lot of videos. Shout out to Watch Me Wrench. That guy, he did this but with a Grand Sport, so it was an LS3, but he still had the dry sump. So everything that he was doing was pretty much like identical to what I'm doing. So he helped me out a lot. He went into extreme detail of what he did. A lot of videos to find and like go through, but I mean, because of him, I'm able to do this. So shout out to him. Thank you for your detailed videos. So if you guys need a more in-depth explanation of what exactly I did, go look at his videos. I'm just gonna, you know, do a quick overview. So alternators back in, power steering pumps back in. Like I said, a power steering reservoir, all the lines are hooked up. I finally bolted up. What did I do? Oh, this I think this is like the ABS module, where all the brake lines go. So I finally bolted that back up. Now the only thing left to do is radiator, and that I'm worried about because this was such a biatch to take off. So hopefully putting this back in won't take as long. But dude, guys, we are so close to turning this thing on. So as soon as I get that radiator plugged back in, we'll just top everything off with fluids, do one last check. Oh no, then I forgot. I got these lines. These lines are annoying. I don't remember where any of these go, so this is probably gonna be an issue or a challenge. These are, I think, these are like for the dry sump and like PVC stuff. But after we get the radiator, we'll figure that out. But let's go do that and see where we get. Well, boys, I made a fat boo-boo. I had 2 extra bolts and one of my you know, my little cups where I've been organizing all the bolts that go to this car. And I figured, you know, Oh, by the way, I got the serpentine belt in and all that good stuff. I was putting in the radiator. Excuse me. And then I noticed some fluid on the floor. I thought it was power steering. I was like, but wait, how could it be power steering if I, you know, hooked up everything to the power steering? It shouldn't be leaking. When I touched it and I smelled it, I was like, dude, that smells like oil. And I had just re-bolted on the oil cooler in there to the shroud that it's supposed to hang on to. And again, I said I had 2 extra bolts in my cup, so I was like, yo, those must be the bolts to hold the oil cooler down. And lo and behold, check this out. These bolts are too freaking long. So I punctured my freaking oil cooler, and now it is making a mess. Honestly, like, this is pretty bad. There's like no way of fixing this. I literally have to get a new one. And these things cost like freaking 300 used and like 600 brand new. This is ridiculous. So, for the sake of, you know, I want to get this car running and moving. I want to see if I can remove the oil cooler from these 2 lines and actually loop the lines with like some hose and some hose clamps while I figure out what to do with this oil cooler situation. I'm really, no, look at, see, I'm going crazy. Oh, I see. Ha ha ha, I see where I went wrong. So these were actually the bolts for the power steering pump, the ones that go in here. And now that I'm looking at this side, yeah, this side that holds the oil cooler, you probably can't really see it because there's no light, but these bolts look exactly like those. So wow, really big, expensive mix-up. Yeah, I'm not going OEM because OEM is ridiculous. $300 for a used one. There's like, and you know, with used, like, you don't know what condition the other motor is that was using that oil cooler, so it could have, you know, sent metal flakes through the oil cooler, and once metal gets into the oil cooler, that's like impossible to get them out. So definitely gonna go with an aftermarket solution. I just don't know which one, but yeah, my mistake. Really bummed about that, but yeah, like I said, gonna try to disconnect this oil cooler and loop these lines so we can turn it on still. But yeah, not a happy guy right now. So learn from my mistakes. Make sure you label everything. I guess I just got even the 2 small mix-up as those 2 bolts. Yeah, kind of just cost me a lot of money right now. Anyways, again, guys, get a freaking evacuator for the AC system on, because this, again, like in my other video, I took about 2 hours trying to separate these 2, and it's about an hour now trying to hook these 2 back up. So much easier if you just take this all out in one unit. I would definitely recommend doing that if I were to do this again. So wish me luck, and let's get going. All right, guys, voila, I did what I could do to my best ability. Hold on, there you go. Oh no, it wasn't even on the camera, it was on the screen. Well, anyways, I did what I could do to my best ability. Like I said earlier, I freaking popped my oil cooler. Here are the bolts. This was the correct size to use. This is the side I used. So, stupid mistake there. Anyways, I got a hose and I just looped the lines so we can hopefully turn it on today. Here's the oil cooler all off. I'm going to see if I can take it to like a radiator shop, hopefully get it patched up, because these things are freaking expensive, brand new. And I don't want to use, like I said, a used one, because you don't know what they've been through. So hopefully we can get this patched up. If not, we're gonna go some alternative aftermarket unit. Other than that, everything got plumbed up perfectly. Told you, freaking AC condenser is such a pain in the ass to get hooked up to the radiator. Like I said, if I ever do this again or take off or do something where the radiator needs to come off, taking off the AC lines, taking it all out as one piece, because not going through that again. Other than that, let's see, what else do we got? All the hoses are plumbed, everything is connected, all the vacuum lines. Oh, these I thought were going to be really difficult, but actually turned out pretty easy. Found a diagram online that helped me. So this is the last thing, just hooks up to the MAF over here, or the air intake. Won't be using this is the ducting that went right here, because I need to replace the oil cooler first before I put that back on. But that shouldn't stop us from, you know, starting it up. So all we got to do now is hook up the air intake and fill it up with coolant and oil and power steering fluid, because I lost all of it there. So let's go do that and then get ready to start this bad boy up. It is finally time, boys. Everything is plumbed, wired, ready to go. Oil's in, coolant's in, power steering fluid is in. I got my catch can even hooked up. Also, that came with a kit, the exhaust manifold header kit, and it also came with, I forgot to say, new exhaust header bolts. So good kit, definitely would recommend it. But like I was saying, even got the Killer Bee cover on just for shits and giggles. Got the oil oil cooler line looped so we can turn it on. Good news on that. I did find that Rock Auto actually sells an oil cooler for about $100, so I might go that route. Or one of my friends actually recommended that didnt. It's a brand. They make aftermarket aluminum radiators, and they actually, you know, people have said that cooling on the Z06 is a big issue. So I was gonna say, hey, if I'm gonna upgrade my radiator, might as well get one from didnt that has the oil cooler and transmission cooler all integrated into one radiator, so I can get rid of, you know, some stuff that is not needed, aka my oil cooler that freaking broke, and, you know, just integrate it into the radiator, so it would clean up the bay a little bit and also kill two birds with one stone. So might go that route, or, you know, just get another oil cooler from Rock Auto. I haven't made up my mind yet, but those are our two options, and those are good options. Anyways, car's ready to go. I will admit, I did get a little preview of how it sounds. I cranked it over, it started up for like 2 seconds and it died, and then our battery ran out of juice because this thing hasn't been driven in like 2.5 months. So pull the battery out, send it off to AutoZone to get a recharge. So we're gonna go pick that thing up, put it back in the car, and finally get this thing started once again for all you guys to hear. So super excited, fingers crossed everything goes well, and let's go pick up the battery. All right, guys, it's time to terrorize this neighborhood. I got the new battery, oh, not new, the new charge battery in, all set and done. Went to go get it recharged at AutoZone. They said it was good, so let's hope for the best this time. Hopefully nothing explodes. Come on, baby, don't do this to me. All right, please, please, please. All right, here we go. We're neutral. Oh man, I got the jitters. Accessory mode on. Everything good so far. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Holy shit. Oh my god. This is stock mufflers too. Oh my god. What is up, guys? Sorry for the last video. I know I kind of ended it prematurely once I turned it on, you know. Gotta get a couple of, you know, revs in, but that was about it. Now I'm ready to update you guys on what's been going on. So pretty much let it, you know, idle. Got everything up to temp. Actually took it for a ride. I actually put around 120 miles on this setup already. That was pretty much, I always do that whenever, you know, I rebuild something. let it warm up, make sure there's no leaks, nothing like that, then go make sure you drive it. Because if something's gonna happen, it's gonna happen within, you know, those first 100 miles of, you know, the first drive since the rebuild. So anyways, by doing that, you're able to, you know, figure out if there's something that needs to be fixed, you know, find all those bugs and gremlins that actually do need to be addressed before going on the dyno. So I always suggest that never build a car, turn it on, and then go straight to the dyno, because you'll be filled with problems. I always suggest, like, give yourself a week before your dyno day to check over everything, drive it, and then, you know, go to the dyno. So with that being said, I of course found a couple of gremlins. Number one, these headers create so much heat. So as you can see, I took them off and I had rewrapped them because I thought maybe just wrapping, you know, like only 2 of them would be enough, but no, they were actually melting some wires. It was actually not any wires. It was the O2 extension. It kind of came loose. It came close to the headers and it melted it. It melted the covering, like this little thing, not the actual wire loom inside. So I had to rewrap it and then put some heat reflector tape on it, and then took the headers off and wrapped them everything. So both sides of the headers have been wrapped. Every collector runner is wrapped now, so you can see that. Hopefully that will help with the heat management of this car. Secondly, I said these headers came with exhaust gaskets. That is correct. However, they came with the wrong ones. So as you can see, we had leaks in every single one of these runners or ports, exhaust ports. Pretty much found out that you have to run the gaskets that match the headers. Even if, you know, the head is a different shape, run the gaskets that match the headers. So I went to SCE and got some nice thick copper gaskets that will be replacing the old ones. And there they are. And then I'm also gonna apply some here we go, copper gasket formula, like pretty much to around all the ports and also around the exhaust piping at these slip joint bends. Just put a little layer of it to ensure that we won't have any leaks down here as well. And then that'll be it pretty much. And then we'll go ahead and give it another turn on, make sure the exhaust leaks are gone. And after that, I think that is pretty much it. Those were the only problems I ran into. So yeah, let's get to it and fix these leaks and turn it on again. And there you have it. Fix all these damn leaks. I will say slip joint exhaust systems are not fun. Definitely do not hold on, let me just spit. Like them. I get it, it's easier to make. The materials, you know, less. You don't have to do as much R&D and welding, you know, to get flanges and bolts on with gaskets. However, yeah, getting them on and off, it's freaking annoying because the tolerances are like made really tight, so it can, you know, not let any exhaust fumes out. But because of that tolerance, getting them on and off and like trying to readjust them, it's a struggle the whole way. So got everything bolted on again, looking mighty fun. I got the new gaskets in with new hardware all around. What else? Cleaned up some things. It was just pretty much what I did. It was heat wrap and chase down exhaust leaks, and there was a couple. So hopefully now that when we're gonna go turn it on, did I bring my keys? I hope I brought my keys. Yes, I brought my keys. Hopefully now that we turn it on, we won't have any exhaust leaks. So let's go ahead, get in and hear how she sounds. Probably gonna get a car wash today as well. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. There you go. No more clicking. I like it. Usually, or last startup, you can hear a lot of ticking and clicking. That was the exhaust leak. No more here. Yep, nice and quiet. Now I just gotta wait for all this stuff to start burning off again. There you go, no clicking. Exhaust leaks, done. Now everything's coming out through the back. Oh my god, it sounds so rowdy still. I was hoping it was gonna quiet down. We may end up adding some catalytic converters to this exhaust system because you know the whole California exhaust law. Yeah, this is rowdy. And this is with the butterflies closed, so it actually gets louder than this. Just, I'm sad to say. But yeah, guys, there you go. The car's ready for a dyno. Let's just go ahead and you know, take it for another ride, but she is ready to make some power. So next time you guys see this car, we'll be on the dyno making some big numbers, hopefully. All right, catch you later.